Take it away, man.
I
Bills
want
Broncos.
to start with the statistic of Josh Allen has the most wins in NFL history of a quarterback to not have a Super Bowl. His 8 wins.
Actually, Michael put this really interesting diagram. Sorry to interrupt you, but
The Peyton Manning one?
yeah, so like you look here, this is Peyton Manning versus Josh Allen in their first 8 seasons. Josh Allen has more yards, more touchdowns, less interceptions, a better passer rating, and both of them didn't have a championship.
I know. What a wild weekend. Cooks caught that ball. I want to start out by saying that is a catch. If the one that was called back in the Texans game as the fumble when he was down by contact wasn't a turnover, and Devontae Adams wasn't a turnover, Brandon Cooks caught that. I don't care what you say. Richard Sherman, J.J. Watt, every former player that has no bias was coming out and saying that was a catch.
I agree.
I will go forward
disagree
with that and say that Allen turned the ball over 5 times, so I'm not going to sit here and complain about, catch or not. You can't turn the ball over 5 times in a game and expect to win. The Bills fire McDermott. Huge spelling error in their quote.
Spelling error?
They, instead of the word admirable, they put admiral. Like in the Navy, and everyone was just screenshotting Sean McDermott wearing like U.S. Navy gear. So they promote Brandon Beane to president, and he holds the GM title still. They fire Sean McDermott. There has been some reports coming out over the last few weeks that Sean McDermott went to Pagula and Beane and said that there's glaring holes on this roster, and we can't win a Super Bowl with them. Pagula said, "We're going to fire you for stating the obvious." The Bills do have glaring holes. Several on defense, really thin at receiver. I don't hate firing McDermott. I do like McDermott. I thought he's a good coach, and I think he'll get a job wherever he wants at this point. But if you're going to fire McDermott, I think you fire Beane. You fire McBean, the both of them. And promoting Beane, I think, is the wrong move. They had Doug Whaley as their GM in 2017. They drafted Trey White, Matt Milano, and Terrell Edmonds. 3 Pro Bowl players.
Yeah.
Since then, they've only had 1. They've only drafted 1. 2. That was Sean McDermott's draft. He drafted 3 Pro Bowl players. Edmonds is a staple on the Chicago D. Trey White had really good runs, and Matt Milano for a while was one of the best linebackers in football.
Absolutely.
Now he's had some, if you look back, missed on the Diggs trade because Jefferson was the pick they traded. Didn't pull the trigger on a Jalen Waddle deal this year because he didn't want to give up next year's first instead of this year's first. And you go into an AFC divisional game where your receivers are Brandon Cooks, Keon Coleman, and
Gabe Davis. Shakir.
They obviously didn't handle the firing well because Deion Dawkins and all these guys are coming out and saying, what the fuck?